Good evening, gentlemen. How about that then? We're joined by Georgie Boy, Mr. Roman Empire in our chat, and this time we are going to do top 10 things we hate about the Champions League. Martin, this could be a 4-hour video, but let's keep it to 10 minutes, buddy. Go for you first, Martin. What is the number one thing that you hate about the Champions League?
That you get told you're the best team in Europe at the end of it when it's just a glorified FA Cup. It really does need to be looked at and changed. The fact is, you cannot be the champions of your country, but be the champions of Europe, and then everyone tells you the best team in Europe. It's backwards to come forwards. It's a money spinner. They need to go back to the old ways. It's just not. It's not what it says on the tin.
Yeah, technically you could finish fourth, or in an extreme, I think fifth, maybe, or fourth at least, definitely fourth in your domestic league, and win the Champions League and be declared champions of Europe when you're not even the champions of your own country. Absolute heads gone UEFA. Sort it out. George, what do you hate about the Champions League?
I hate some of the locations they choose for a final, like this when we had our Champions League final, we had Chelsea. They could have easily given it to the Wembley when they were all through COVID, and they chose to give it to Portugal, which at the time was a bit of a iffy country to go to at the time in red zone. But the head was completely gone on that choice of where to have that the final.
Well, they've done that. They do that more with the Europa League, don't they? I think what was it? The Europa League final between Chelsea and Arsenal a couple of years ago was in Baku, which is in.
Yeah.
It's closer to get a megabus to bloody Mars than it is to go to Baku. So yeah, absolute heads gone with the European sort of stuff. And I agree. Ryan, okay, what do you hate most about the Champions League, buddy boy?
Probably how pointless the group stages are. Because bar a couple, say 1, 2, maybe 3 at a push groups in Champions League group stages, you know who's going through every time. City's group this year is a bit more exciting because you have Leipzig, but Leipzig are going through a transition. You kind of know that City and PSG are going through anyway. So bar a few groups a season, you know exactly who's going through. You can pretty much predict who's going to go through in what positions as well. It just makes a lot of the group stage, because of the way that it's, because of the level of some of the teams in there, it makes it rather pointless just having the group stage in general.
Yeah, well, you've got to sell BT Sport subscriptions and whatever the European counterparts are, and you've got to give those European minnows their 15 minutes of fame, haven't you? I guess. Oh well, Richard, come on, knock us out of the park, son.
I bloody hate all those obscure football experts who go on to you all week when you're playing Omar Sharif in the Champions League, and they'll start telling you about all their players. And what I hate about that is either they confuse FIFA and real life because they once played that team on FIFA, or two, they've got so much time they do actually watch Azerbaijani league games for, during their leisure time, and both of those things are deeply annoying.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Ryan is looking at you when he says that, mate. With your FC colon knowledge. I'm joking, Ryan.
Just because I'm cultured and watch other leagues, Rob.
Yeah, but nobody watches the Azerbaijani league, surely.
Is that what we are now? We're cultured.
Everyone started watching at the start of COVID that was still going on.
Yeah. Well,
what was it, like Belarus or something, where the president was an absolute madman? COVID isn't a real thing. We're just going to carry on as normal. And everyone started watching that football on illegal streams.
Well, I'm going to get super controversial now, by the way, and tell you what one of my main hatreds of the Champions League is. Manchester City, 8 seconds late for the second half of a game in the Champions League. Martin, what country was that? Portugal?
We were in...
Pretty sure it was Portugal. And we were 8 seconds late for the second half of a game, and we get fined €35,000. And then in a different outing in the Champions League, in the European game,
Moscow.
In Moscow, our Yaya Toure and some of our other players had bananas thrown at them and racial motivated chanting aimed at them. and their team got fined about €8,000. So in the opinion of UEFA, being late for the second half of a game financially is worse than being racist. And yet they have this kick it out to racism and all this fair play and equal play and all this other nonsense propaganda that they constantly spout. Yet they don't actually back it up in the real world. And it's run by a bunch of people, again, who love the smell of their own farts. And I'm sick to death of them. Can't stand any of them. They're all pathetic, self-serving worms. Martin, what's your next reason for hating the Champions League?
Mine's going to be a little bit down the controversial route. Down Yorkshire, there they go then. Is there a little bit of a split that it's caused between fans, and especially the newer fans or the younger fans, and then the dinosaurs like me, Rich and Rob, who are not that overly bothered about, because you get this Premier League over Champions League debate, and, we are told we're dinosaurs if we want the Premier League more than the Champions League. Yeah. And I just think it just comes down to generational, and I also think it comes down to people won't like this, but sometimes the way it's portrayed, because the Champions League,
the way I look at it,
everything else is made out to be the biggest thing going.
The way I look at it, Martin, is I want to win the Premier League because of the prestige and the history of winning the top flight in England. I want to win the FA Cup because of the history of the competition and the prestige of winning it. But the only reason I want to win the Champions League is because we haven't won it. That's far less motivation, realistically. So, yeah, it's a bit of a... what do Ryan and George think? Because you guys are younger than us, so...
I'd prefer to win the Premier League just so we can try and catch up to Liverpool United in titles. The Champions League's be nice to win it, but I'd rather have that status so when the United fans and Liverpool fans go, we've got this many titles, we can go, well, we've got this many titles too.
Yeah, so it's just a pissing contest, isn't it?
For years, I've always been saying on a variety of things that I'd always rather win the Premier League than Champions League. So,
all right, Georgie boy, what else do you hate about the Champions League?
I hate the coverage. The fact that BT gets it all is kind of... We never have any pundits that are on City's side. We'll always get an ex-Liverpool, an ex-United, Arsenal, or a Tottenham commentary every time. And unless it's on Sky, we never have anyone that's going to stand up for Man City.
Well, technically they gave us Owen Hargreaves, but even that one's tenuous.
You're trying to say you don't appreciate the commentary of Jermaine Genius? I think the reason why it comes down to why I just hate the Champions League in general is how glorified it is for something that isn't as prestigious as it once was. Back when, I think, regardless of the direct, say, representation in quality, as it used to be when it was the European Cup and you had to actually be a champion of your league to be in the tournament, it's now just kind of resolved into something that is just there to make as much money as possible. And it's lost a lot of the prestige that I think it once had, as you had to be a champion to get into the tournament, and then you had to be the best team in the tournament to win it. Whereas now it's just, you could get luck of the draw, you could get whatever, but I don't think it proves who is the best team in Europe. I don't think it proves who's the best team in the world. And then once if you win it, you move on to the Club World Cup, which again is just there. It's just a thing to make money. And you saw the year that Liverpool won it against Spurs.
Oh, bloody hell. Did we ever? We were reminded of it every 5 seconds.
I hate it because it's the most overhyped media load of rubbish. You get told for 2 weeks before it's coming back, the Champions League's back, the greatest football in the world, and then it's like City against Midtjylland, and we win 5-0 whilst playing our worst performance of the month, and it's so utterly overhyped. All fur coat, no knickers. Champions League.
Do you know what's the 5-hour draw either?
Oh God, the hot ball, cold ball draw. Right, I'm going to knock you all out of the park here with my final reason for why I hate the Champions League. Manchester City. That's why I hate the Champions League. Arguably, in the last decade, six or 7 years in the last decade, we've had the best team in the world. Arguably. And we've not won the competition once. That's why I hate the Champions League. Because we have been the best team in world football 5, 6, 7 years out of the last 10 and not won that stupid competition once. What does that say? That knockout football is about luck.
We've had it, and I wouldn't say that's our best team.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly. It's about luck as much as it is about quality, and that's what I kind of
feel like we're like Belgium of the Champions League. It's like we've got a really good squad. We do well. At the end of it, we probably get knocked out in the semi-final or final.
Yeah. So, yeah, plenty of good reasons to hate the Champions League. Maybe one day, if we ever come up with 10 reasons we love the Champions League, we might do a video on that. Highly unlikely. Thank you, gentlemen. See you in the next one. Bye for now.